Hello everyone, I'm here to read you a story. My name's Lee Benson. I'm a published author, that's a man who writes books, and this is a story about a young girl called Wilhemena. Are you ready? Are you sure? Then I'll begin. Wilhemena and Her Wind by me, Lee Benson. Who doesn't like baked beans? I know one girl who absolutely adores them, and her name is Wilhemena. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village somewhere in England, an alarm clock rang, ignored by a young schoolgirl called Wilhemena. She lay curled up fast asleep under her duvet, dreaming of the sunny days of summer and her favourite meal, baked beans. Wilhemena! Then louder. Wake up! Breakfast is ready! Your beans are getting cold again! Her mother shouted from downstairs. Wilhemena opened her eyes, sighed as she waved farewell to her dreams, and slipped on her pink-spotted dressing gown with matching slippers. Slowly, she ambled downstairs, then plonked herself on the nearest chair. Mother placed a large plate of baked beans on toast with a runny fried egg in front of her, and with one eyebrow raised, said, "Morning, sleepyhead." Wilhemena rubbed her eyes and smiled with a wake-up glee at her breakfast. "Oh, yum! My favourite dish ever!" "I want that plate emptied and spotless, or there'll be no rhubarb and custard for your tea when you come home from school," said Mother. Wilhemena had no problem eating her favourite breakfast. She gobbled it all up, especially each and every bean, leaving not one morsel on the plate. Indeed, it had all vanished. "Brilliant," said Wilhemena, licking her lips. Then it started. A rumble at first, followed by a gurgling, and then the loudest botty burp with the pop of an explosion. "Wilhemena!" exclaimed her mother. "How rude!" "Sorry, Mum, it just popped out." Wilhemena ran upstairs, dressed quickly, brushed her teeth and hair, and ran down again, waving "Bye" as she ran out of the door on her way to school. "Promise you'll look both ways before crossing the road and keep to the inside of the pavement. There are mad drivers out there that just don't care," said her mother. "Yes, Mum," said Wilhemena, the words flying over her head as she dreamt of having lunch with Grandpa. Her tummy kept on making strange noises, and then suddenly Wilhemena bent over, holding her tummy. Then it started. A rumble at first, followed by a gurgling, and then the loudest botty burp with the pop of an explosion, which blew over the neighbour's fence and left all the plants and planks strewn everywhere. "Oh no," said Wilhemena, not stopping. "I'm really very sorry, Mr. Tibbles, but I've got to catch the bus. Sorry." The words vanished, and Mr. Tibbles was not impressed. "My new wisteria, gone, ruined." Wilhemena kept on running and eventually arrived at the bus stop before the bus arrived. Then it started. A rumble at first, followed by a gurgling, and then the loudest botty burp with the pop of an explosion. Wilhemena had blown the bus stop and the shelter over. "Oh no," exclaimed Wilhemena. "I didn't mean to do that." The bus pulled up at the usual place. The door opened with a hiss of escaped air, and she hopped on, waving a bus pass at the driver. She ran upstairs as fast as she could, hoping that the driver wouldn't notice that the bus stop had been destroyed. And she ran to the back of the bus and sat down quietly, smiling to herself, whilst remembering some of her wind-assisted tales, not least the last episode. Wilhemena didn't really enjoy her classes, apart from running and swimming. She swam really well, especially after sneaking down some more baked beans before the race. 1, 2, 3. She had held the body burp after she dived off the sides and hit the water, and then with a clean splash popped away, speeding past her classmates. "Oh, boo! What's that smell?" said the sports teacher. Wilhemena had said nothing as she touched the end of the pool and came in first. It was the same for running. After a quick 4 or 5 spoons of beans, Wilhemena held back till the gun fired and then leapt forward, aided by a flutter in the shorts and a noise like a sonic boom. "Boo!" went all the team. "What's that smell?" But Wilhemena had said nothing. She knew it was just a little post-race body burp. The bus gave a sudden jolt, which brought her back to her surroundings. Then it started. A rumble at first, followed by a gurgling, and then the loudest body burp with the pop of an explosion. Wilhemena was thrown onto the floor, and furthermore, she had blown the back of the bus off far away. The driver slammed his foot on the brakes. The bus, screeched to a halt just behind a stationary police car. The bus driver climbed out of his cab and walked around to the back of the bus. When he arrived at the back of the bus, he saw to his amazement that it wasn't there. The back of the bus had vanished clean away. Wilhemena peered out from the upper deck. I'm so sorry," she mumbled. "Did you actually do this to my bus?" said the driver, throwing his arms out at the missing rear of the bus. Well, not actually me. It's my mum's fault. She made me eat baked beans for breakfast, and then... "Oh, that's ridiculous," said the driver. "How could a small girl like you blow off the back of the bus?" Wilhemena looked down and shrugged her shoulders. "I don't know either," she said, very relieved that she had not been believed. The policeman escorted all the passengers safely off the bus, including Wilhemena. At the same time, an elderly gentleman walked up to the crowd and recognised one of the passengers. "Hello, Wilhemena. What's happened here?" Grandpa walked with a slight limp, but he always stood tall and proud with his medals pinned to his coat. Wilhemena ran up to Grandpa and flung her arms around him. "Oh, Grandpa, am I glad to see you." Grandpa scratched his head. "Whatever happened to the back of the bus? There's no bridges or tunnels on this road. It's appeared to have vanished. How strange." "Oh, you won't believe what happened, honest." Wilhemena took hold of Grandpa's arm and they strolled into the coffee shop with lovely fresh cakes displayed in the window. The nice bubbly lady with the bun on top of her head and a bright orange dot apron leaned on the glass counter. "What would you like, my dears?" Grandpa pointed at the chocolate eclair and added, "One of those and a nice cup of tea, please." And I'd like a plate of baked beans on toast and a glass of water," said Wilhemena. They sat down in the window and watched the bus driver, who was still scratching his head in dismay. "Grandpa," said Wilhemena. "Yes, my dear." Grandpa knew by the inquisitive manner that something wasn't exactly right. "What are those medals you always wear?" "I was given them by Her Majesty after my leg was blown off trying to rescue my sergeant in the war. He was like a brother to me." Wilhemena nodded and finished her beans on toast. Then she leaned forward and whispered, "I did blow the back of the bus off, honest." Now, don't be a silly girl. How could little you even dream of such a thing?" Then it started. A rumble at first, followed by a gurgling, and then the loudest body burp with the pop of an explosion. The explosion knocked the chairs, tables and Grandpa over. Wilhemena's glass of water hit the floor and splashed everywhere. Grandpa looked down at his legs and walking stick. Something was missing. He counted 2 things. There was 1 stick and 1 leg. "Oh, You've blown my artificial leg off. It's gone. I can't see it anywhere. Crikes!" "Oops," said Wilhelmina as she tried to help her grandpa up off the floor. "What happened here? What a mess," said the bubbly lady. "Oh, tut, tut, whatever next?" Whatever next indeed, as Wilhelmina's felt something about to happen. "Look out," she cried. Then it started. A rumble at first, followed by a gurgling, and then the loudest body burp with the pop of an explosion. It was the loudest and longest pop ever heard on the planet. Wilhelmina and her grandpa were blown out of the cake shop and flew faster than a rocket all the way into space and unbelievably landed on the moon. "Where did you ever learn to do that?" said Grandpa in amazement. "Oh no," said Wilhelmina. "It's the beans. They make me rumble and grumble so much." "Well, now then, at least we'll be able to enjoy the view and figure out a way to get back home. I think you're going to be very late for school, young lady. I'll tell your teachers that I delayed you." "Oh, Grandpa, you're just amazing," said Wilhelmina, hugging him very hard. Then she looked up. What about your leg, Grandpa?" "Oh, don't worry. I'll have to get another one at the second leg shop on the high street." Grandpa smiled with a twinkle in his eye. "Oh, I'm just joking. I have a spare one at home hidden under my bed." They sat looking out at space, trying to count all the stars while waving to planet Earth. Grandpa scratched his forehead. "I've a brainwave. Do you think you might conjure up another of your wind explosions?" "I'll try. I need to think of a plate full of baked beans, maybe even a larger bowlful," said Wilhelmina. So she closed her eyes tight, and she breathed in, and she pinched her nose tight, and she thought hard about her favourite food. Wilhelmina kept repeating, "Baked beans, baked beans, baked beans." And Grandpa held on tight to her other hand just in case something occurred. Then it started. A rumble at first, followed by a gurgling, and then the loudest body burp with the pop of an explosion. Grandpa and Wilhelmina were launched off the moon and soared all the way back to Earth. Even better still, they landed right outside Wilhelmina's home. "Phew," said Grandpa as he dusted his coat down. "Gosh," said Wilhelmina as her jaw dropped open. The front door opened. "Hello," said Wilhelmina's mother. "What are you both doing here? Wilhelmina, you should be at school. Good grief, Dad, where's your leg gone?" Grandpa shrugged his shoulders. "Can't really say. I seem to have misplaced it. It was here a while ago. I'm sure it'll turn up." Wilhelmina looked at Grandpa. Grandpa winked at Wilhelmina. Nobody would ever believe what had happened, especially Wilhelmina's mother. Wilhelmina had the answer, though. "School was cancelled," she said, and then quickly changed topic. What's for lunch?" "Baked beans, dear," said Wilhelmina's mum. "Oh, no!" The end. Whoosh! I hope you enjoyed that. And what's more, you might have baked beans for tea.